My name is Angel Lateral, and when it comes to practicing law, I resonate with the human spirit just as much as the judicial system. This isn't your typical business legal advice show, and I'm not your typical lawyer. As an attorney, I have over 16 years of legal experience in the areas of business law and estate planning. As a project manager, I love building and nurturing systems that work. And as a certified guide in the lineage of King Solomon, transformation consultant, and practicing Buddhist, I know this all starts with a healthy mindset. Welcome to the Laws of Abundance podcast. Legal advice from an angel. I'm your host, Angel Lateral. Everything on this earth holds a vibration. We can't see them, but atoms are little solar systems rotating around a sun, just as a planet and a moon are rotating around their planets and suns and galaxies. They are all in movement all the time. This movement that has a resulting frequency is the Hermetic principle of vibration. In some ways, it is the acceptance and acknowledgement that everything is always in motion. And you're now like, great, right, Angel, thanks. What does this principle of hermetics have to do with me and my life? Scientists and physicists, yes, but me? Well, if everything is in motion, then we are in motion. If everything has a vibration, then we have a vibration, and thus our choices can affect our vibration significantly. Take, for example, my choosing to drink herbal tea versus coffee, i.e. caffeine, in the morning. One literally starts my heart palpitating and my skin sweating, and the other soothes me into a nice meditative space where I can engage in ritual, meditation, and chanting. And then ritual, meditation, and chanting then have me going to a higher mind state than, say, starting my day on social media. And thus, when I actually move into my second part of the day, the part where I sit in front of a computer, if I've meditated, things flow smooth. If I've simply caffeinated and ingested headlines and social feeds, I'm already scattered and my vibration is already jumpy. My day is more likely to tilt into reaction and go off course than if I write my sails into the flow of the higher self to begin with. So let me tell you a little story about a situation that arose this month. It's so easy now to look back and say how I literally spun myself out. Mercury retrograde, plus Jupiter in Aries, plus lunar eclipse in Scorpio. I'm sitting on my couch crying over things I can't identify. Grief is welling up within me, and I let go of old stuff that I'm carrying and mourn changes. Also, though, I'm in an unproductive thought loop about needs and wants in my relationship. I want to talk to my partner on the phone because soon he'll be unreachable and I'll be in Canada and we're on different schedules and the more I think about the distance, the bigger it gets. And I'm having a full-blown anxious attachment trigger episode with myself. Now, I know this in my head. My partner has done nothing to deserve some of the frustrated thought loops currently dancing in my mind. It's my disappointment bear again. It's my wounded whaler crying over injuries that have not been perpetrated, but most certainly will be. And before you know it, I'm very worked up, and now I'm crying about my needs not being met, even though there's absolutely no external stimulus to create this situation. I've done it to myself with my own thoughts. And yes, I'm in a relationship where distance is a constant, but I generally find it okay because I've got so much going on. I need the space for my purpose, and my needs are met. But now that my vibration has shifted and things feel icky because my thoughts are all worked up, my vibration is not of the light. It is of complaint and fear, and I've spiraled myself literally into an emotional tizzy. Now here's the thing. I know how to get out of it. But this particular week, I don't. I give in to the tsunami of emotion and feeling. I journal. I allow it to pass through me, but it doesn't go. Some fear wants attention. So I take the bait. I text my partner. He doesn't respond as I wanted. In fact, he responds to something from the night before, but my spiraled and wound up wounded whaler steps in and freaks the fuck out. What the fuck? How could he? Never again! Doesn't he know what I'm going through? So when he finally calls me, I'm an aggravated mess, incapable of properly communicating anything. And he is very confused and defensive at me because I'm being a crying blob of inarticulate emotional vomit. I don't blame him. And ironically, I used the very thing I wanted at the very beginning of this episode to try to calm me down, which is his voice, to spin out further. Vibration. It's real. And it can get very real if you don't manage it and your thoughts. So 5 hours later, after chanting, after ritual, after a good talk with a calm friend who reminded me to meditate before doing anything else, I managed to bring myself back up to a higher frequency and not say anything more in my moment of weakness, and to calm the fuck down about the literal nothing I had made out of something. Vibration. It's real. So chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo raised my vibration. I read some encouraging quotes about why meditate. I did some rituals and I grounded myself. And then, and only then, did I talk to my partner again. He did not deserve my onslaught of failed self-care when he was just trying to fulfill what I asked of him. But I was so jacked up on my own inner drama, I couldn't do anything but be reactive to literally nothing. So I share this to demonstrate. 1, even I turn into a spazzed out mess every once in a while, and let me tell you, it was exhausting. 2, to give an example of how a human can change vibration based on our thoughts and actions. Because 3, our thoughts have vibration because 4, everything has a vibration, and that is why things like meditation, mantras, activations, energy healing, initiations can actually help you with your life, because they can instantly change your vibration. And in my example from my life, I indulged in my drama. And where did I get? Tired and upset and regretting that I projected it upon my partner, which in hindsight was completely avoidable. How could I have avoided it? Changed my vibration before engaging with him, using the tools I teach and know, specifically meditation, specifically redirecting my own energy. I could have called a colleague and gotten an emergency cord cutting instead of leaning into the emotional roller coaster. I could have sat down and chanted for my partner's happiness. I could have held gratitude. I didn't though, so I let my negative ego win around. It won't happen again. As a Hermetic principle, a law of the universe, and thus a law of abundance, understanding vibration is essential. Like attracts like. So positive thoughts gather positive thoughts, and negative thoughts gather negative. They become clouds that will swirl and rain on your parade. Now, in my example, this was just about a single week in my life because I have tools and practices to change my vibration. But what about a person who lives their life like this all of the time? In emotion, in the past, in a state of drama, going to color everything, leading to more drama, more negative vibration, more bad reactions, and eventually maybe the person's life will be sad and lonely. All persons are driven away from them. Or they'll believe that the world is just filled with assholes and narcissists. But as I've said before, the world is filled with assholes. The most obvious one is yourself, as in likely you are the biggest asshole. But I digress. You can oversimplify vibration to a law of attraction. I wouldn't though. But for the sake of understanding, you can go there at first. But it's a law of hermetics. So just know this is how the world works. Just like gravity here on Earth, it exists, despite as much as you want to believe in it. Our thoughts have vibration. Our food has vibration. What we choose to engage in has vibration. Music is vibration. Rocks, minerals, they have vibration, etc. Everything has vibration. Matter of all kinds has vibration. Every single thing has vibration. And as a human, we can change our vibration in 3 ways. 1, we can meditate. 2, we can change our habits, which include our thought clouds. Think about it. Perhaps that glass of wine isn't a coping mechanism. What if you chose rose tea instead and raised your vibration instead of lowering it with alcohol? Stressed? Go for a run. Go work on a project. Go do yoga instead of calling your friend for a bitch fest. That complaint picnic will only erase fortune and lower your vibrations. So 3, the third way, we can go get help. Come get a clearing and a healing or an activation from me. It's what I should have done in the moment when I was spinning. And these 3 things are all within your control. And honestly, we all need help from time to time. Jesus, Buddha, Mohammed, they all had teachers. Why shouldn't we? And actually, with a teacher and with a practice, path you might call it, you have a way to work towards a better, higher vibration for your day to day. Not just a lurching here or there, trying to strive to get up there, but every day consistently raising your vibration with a practice such that someday it's so much higher than ever before. And when you're so much higher than where you were before, your new bottom is so much higher than where you were before you started climbing. So you never have to feel those pits and valleys because you're working on yourself and you're consistently raising your vibration. So think about it. There is a path that if you work on it every day, it leads you to a life you want to live. So, dear listener, I will end here today with a quote from the Kybalion and a quote from Epsissimus Dave Lanyon, a hermetist extraordinaire and a wonderful mentor and teacher in my life. So, the Kybalion says this: every thought, emotion, or mental state has its corresponding rate and mode of vibration. And by effort of the will of the person or of other persons, these mental states may be reproduced, just as a musical tone may be reproduced by causing an instrument to vibrate at a certain rate. By knowledge of the principle of vibration, one may polarize his or her mind at any degree she wishes, thus gaining perfect control over her mental states, moods, etc. And finally, from Epsissimus Dave, hermetics is always absolute. Stop using the mind. Use the heart. Will sets mind, not mind sets will. So, my dear friend, please reach out and ask me about these tools and practices I have to help you raise your vibration. They are very real and can help any human being regardless of circumstance. In the meantime, though, drop into your heart. Start with loving yourself. Raise your vibration within yourself, and the rest will follow. Thank you for allowing me to help you prosper. If you like this podcast, please review and subscribe. You can find out more about me at laterallaw.com/Laws of Abundance podcast. I'm your host, Angel Lateral, and I can help with that.